welcome back to another exciting adventure right here on Radio Wasteland. I'm your host, Chauncey Haworth. This is my co-host, Kara Kittrick.
Hello.
Kara, you got any news for us today?
Yes, I do. So let's start with one kind of bizarre story here. While working as a substitute teacher, Kansas State Representative Mark Samsel, reportedly went on a number of strange religious rants about suicide, sex, and same-sex relationships, and then physically attacked a student after getting into an argument with them about politics and religion. At one point, he apparently suggested that a sophomore at the school tried to kill himself because his foster parents are lesbians and went on a rant about the devil's music. Students sent in recordings of many of his tirades, and the school and the state legislature are investigating. However, as a lawmaker, he has immunity from criminal prosecution, so it's actually exceedingly unlikely that he will get in any kind of trouble for this. In terms of average people who can be prosecuted, as of today, approximately 400 people have been arrested for attending riots at the nation's capital in January. Many of these individuals were identified due to posts they made on social media or posts other people made on social media. In at least one case, a man bragged to a woman on Bumble that he had been involved. She swiped left and then called the police, and he was later arrested. And on the same topic, Newsmax issued a retraction last Friday for sharing theories about rigged Dominion voting machines. They released a statement saying, Newsmax subsequently found no evidence that such allegations were true. Many of the states whose results were contested by the Trump campaign have conducted extensive recounts and audits, and each of these states certified the results as legal and final. This correction was most likely spurred by a lawsuit by an engineer working for Dominion, who Newsmax singled out in their coverage as the likely culprit for rigging the election. In the last few months, Fox and OAN have also released various similar retractions. Back to you, Chauncey.
Okay. This is a whole lot of...
Yeah, it was a light week for Bigfoot and UFOs.
Yeah, but a big week for government conspiracies.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that there's a lot of people who listen to this that maybe think a lot of this stuff is real. And, you know, maybe some of it is. Maybe we do have to throw in that maybe some of it is. But let's start out with the substitute teacher, because that has nothing to do with anything.
No.
I'm constantly kind of shocked with this whole culture wars thing, that we live in the United States and that people are so upset about their neighbors being different. They've always been different. Mm-hmm. You know, or at least in all of these people,
in fear. So
yeah, but in all
a fan of that, I guess.
In all of these people's lifetimes, it hasn't been so much in fear that they're just not there at all. You know,
well, sure.
It's just wild to me that, like, I don't know how much support is somebody getting when they're shouting about the devil music. I mean, this guy had to have grown up listening to. I mean, given his age bracket, he had to have been listening to music.
Yeah, the guy's
70s.
36.
He's 36 and he's talking about devil music.
I know, it's funny. I don't know.
How old does this guy listen to?
It was unclear what he was referring to, so I don't know if he's like, you know, rock and roll and Elvis Presley with his
totally, yeah.
I don't know if that's what he's worked up about.
Sending us to heck.
Maybe, you know, he's worked up about rap or something.
Oh my God, how is rap devil music? I mean,
well, this guy's probably racist,
I guess.
Just judging by everything else that happened in the story.
So Cardi B's a Satanist, but Ozzy Osbourne's cool.
Yeah, I have no idea what this guy's thought process was. I just read through the story and the hits kept coming. First of all, why is he working as a substitute teacher when he's a Kansas State representative? Yeah. That's unclear. And then, you know, he rants about the devil's music and then attacks a student.
And then why is he not able to be prosecuted? What's up with that BS?
Well, it is BS. But you know, in at the national level, and I'm pretty sure all of the states too have this in their constitutions, that basically you can only be tried for you can only be arrested for treason and various other things, and also misdemeanors. But in terms of felony, you have immunity basically. So what would have to happen is for this guy to get impeached, which the thing about impeachment is the way impeachment works is if your party controls the legislature, then you're innocent, and if the other party controls the legislature, then you're guilty. It has absolutely nothing to do with the facts of the case or what you did.
Right, which it should.
So
it would be nice.
I mean, yeah, it should. I think the framers didn't anticipate, just how craven people would be in power. And just how strong factions would be. So
I get it for a sitting president. I do. I didn't like Trump. Everybody knows I didn't like Trump. But when they were saying that they can't just straight up prosecute him when he's the sitting president, I understood that on some level at least.
Sure.
But for this guy, basically,
he's a Kansas state legislator.
If you're not allowed to be prosecuted for felony, I think the follow-up rule should be you're not allowed within 100 feet of any of our children, because what if you perform a felony on them and get away with it? That's not okay.
I mean, in general, it's just a completely broken system, right? I mean...
Well, I don't know if it's completely broken, but I think we have a weird ecosystem of paperwork that allows for some weird loopholes. But I mean, I definitely don't think it's totally broken. I think that
this guy could hold up a liquor store, and if his party really liked him, he could get away with it.
Right. Yeah.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I don't know. I think that would be cooler than talking about devil music to the kids. I mean,
oh, well, it's a pretty low bar. This guy is as uncool. He's just, Jerry Falwell in short shorts mowing his lawn on levels of uncool. Just
Ew. I don't like that. All right, the next one, 400 people arrested for the national assault on the Senate. I'm surprised they found all these people.
They should have tried being members of Congress.
Yeah, I'm curious how many Americans actually think that those people were doing the right thing.
Well,
I don't think it's 50%, but I am curious.
No, but my guess is based on the numbers for similar things. It's probably 40 to 60% of Republicans.
So you think it's about a quarter of the population, of the voting population?
Well, I mean, you've got to remember that half the country doesn't vote at all, essentially.
Right.
So, you know, we're talking about a quarter of a half. So, yeah, I would say an eighth of the country, probably.
Right.
I did not say it was okay to do math and statistics like this, but since I'm
of course. Anybody who's looking to us for on the fly numbers,
exactly. But yeah, probably an eighth, 12%. Ish, I would guess.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean 1 in 12 people you meet, because I live in Seattle, that's up here it's probably 1 in 200, but
right. I live in Southern Oregon, right? So it's probably the other way around.
Right. Yeah. Well, Ashland is a college town, but if you go 20 minutes to Medford, I think most people there probably think, the election was stolen.
What do we do about that? I mean,
I keep saying we need to divide up the country, but
how does that fix anything? Obviously, countries start wars with one another. You think we're going to divide the country in half and then the two of us are just going to get along all dandy now?
If we divide up the nuclear weapons too, I think we'd have to.
I don't. I don't. I think that's, as a parent, I got to say that's sort of missing the lesson here. And
I just don't think.
I think the lesson here is that people learn to get along and people learn to compromise.
I think that's possible.
Of course, it's possible.
There are so many. I would say there's more issues in our politics than not, where there isn't really a middle, you know? Like abortion. One side thinks it's a right, and one side thinks it's murder. Where is the compromise? Like, how there's no, gay rights. One side thinks it's, an abominable degradation of our culture. The other one thinks it's a right. Where's the middle ground? Like, and I think that's true for, honestly, most of our things. You can say, the middle ground between this high tax number and this low tax number is, in the middle, but they're both coming at it from totally different philosophies. One side is like everyone.
Well, with taxes, I do think that they could come up with it. With money and stuff like that, I think that they can. But you're right on abortion and homosexuality and stuff. It makes me want to bring back in high school. I came up with my own political party, and I was a mind your own effing businessist. And so people are just all, oh, what do you think about gay marriage? And I'm all, I don't care, and I don't care what you think. Why don't you mind your own effing business? It's like, I don't know. It's weird. I think it's weird that anybody cares. And I especially think it's weird that Republicans care, because they are the mind your own business party, or at least they were.
Well, you see,
or they claimed to be. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't care about politics.
A little more than 2,000 years ago, a guy called Leviticus wrote, some ill-advised stuff, and now we have the culture wars. So that's just how it is.
Yeah, but there are a lot of other religious countries around the world who have come to better terms with this.
Not really. Have you looked at Europe lately? They're as polarized as we are.
Oh, God. We're all going to hell in a handbasket. And then, all right, finally, yes. News and the rigged voting. I mean, it's the same thing. I don't know. It's like, how is a libel lawsuit against a company who supposedly rigged the election, who are threatening to sue people if they talk about it? How does that sway people's minds? It doesn't. I'm sure these people are sitting there going like, all the same BS and all the same stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
Is there really no hope
going
for
to
us?
hell?
Is there really no hope for us?
No, there's no hope.
I don't know. Maybe we need a despot. Maybe we need that. It's we could say like, I got a cat and a dog now. I just got a cat, and we could say like, my cat and my dog can rule themselves, and we'll just leave them in the house, and they'll figure it out. No, they won't. They're a cat and a dog. We're going to crap all over the place, eat up all the food, and starve to death. Maybe we're that, and we just like to think we're better than that. Maybe we need an owner.
Yeah. I mean, if aliens, if you're out there, if you're listening to our broadcasts, please conquer our planet.
Yeah, have you heard that song, We'll Make Great Pets, by Porno for Pyros?
No, but I like where they're at. Yeah.
Yeah. It's half of Jane's Addiction's band after Jane's Addiction, and it's a song about how aliens are going to come down and we'd make great pets.
Just put me in a terrarium, set up a heat lamp. I'm all good,
Totally. All right, you're listening to Radio Wasteland. Stick around. We got more. Or do we?